running late. I was just struggling with my tripod. I don't even know if everything's good now because I'm like 5 minutes late or something like that. But yeah, sorry. I think hopefully it sounds good right now. And everything is alright. I'm just making sure there's nothing crazy going on in the background. I don't even know where my dog is. Oh, she's right there letting me look. She's laying on a little big bed. She's always the cutest little puppy. Okay, anyway, let me just stay here for a second. So basically, it is Sunday, March 2nd. Today is going to be a Sunday stretchy day, but it's also going to be a routine building day. So I talked about this last week. I am basically starting a new approach to the videos. I want my Twitch content to be more or less the things that I'm experimenting with, the things that I'm like, you know, practicing or trying, and just like doing that whole process live, right? So like if I'm trying to learn a dance, like I'm not gonna learn it in my room, I'm gonna learn it like on stream, right? Or if I'm going to share a recipe or something that I like I will stream myself making it, or like shopping for it or something like that, just to kind of tie in the whole picture of everything. And so I really want to be able to make YouTube videos of routines. And essentially when I say routine, it's not like a dance per se, but it is a series of movements or exercises that you do regularly, right? So for example, if you wake up in the morning and you always stretch your back, or you always, you know, bend over and stretch your legs, you know, those are just like short routines. It might just be a couple movements, but the more you do them in the same order, hopefully you do them in the same order, the more it becomes something like a habit that you're used to, that you do automatically, right? So yeah, I forget why I was saying that. But basically, I'm working on those routines so that the YouTube videos will be there for people that want to learn the routines. And I don't want it to be like, oh, here's this routine, I looked it up somewhere, or like I copied someone and I'm gonna say it's my own. But like, I have a whole backstory behind why this routine exists, and if you want to see how I developed it, you can watch this VOD from my Twitch channel to see like why I did what I did and how I did what I did, so that way if there's something you want to change or something you want to add, you can understand the philosophy behind why it is the way that it is, and then of course determine if that does make you want to leave it the same, right? Like maybe you learn something along the way during the routine building process like this, because it's really all it is, right? It's like a giant, it's like a digital drawing board, like a storyboard. I'm like recording my trial and errors here on Twitch, and then whatever I can carve out is what I put together for a polished YouTube video. Yeah, so basically that is what I will be doing from here on out, unless, you know, I get the urge to do a random, like very rigid exercise or like activity. I don't know, maybe I want to do a challenge, but for the most part I will now just be working on my routines here so that I can do the perfected polished versions on my YouTube channel, and then you can use my Twitch, you can watch my lives to see how I build these routines and the things that I consider and use for research while I do them. Yeah, so I believe I titled this stream Sunday Stretching Low Flow Routine. So I'm trying to give each routine a name. And again, routine is not like a dance or anything, it's just a pattern of movements that when done in a sequence regularly turn into a habit, and then we can put ourselves on autopilot so we don't have to think about them every day. Just like, when there's a certain, I need to look up the name for this again. There's a certain name for it, but prime example is getting up and going to the bathroom first thing in the morning, right? Or getting up and looking at your phone first thing in the morning, right? Those are habits that you form over time. You don't really think about them, you just do them. Your body just naturally thinks about those things first. Same with doing your exercises or your routines. If you are doing them in the same order, at the same time, in any sequence possible that's repetitive, that you can essentially put yourself on autopilot for, the easier it will be to become a habit and basically just be part of what you do and who you are, and it won't feel like you're working. It will just feel like it is, as easy as looking at your phone or going to the bathroom. So this is going to be a low flow routine, and the idea for this one, I'm thinking so there's going to be standing flow, right? When you're standing up, like maybe you're at work or you're at the airport or somewhere you don't want to touch the ground, right? So that would be like a standing flow. And there's like a low flow, which is like lower to the ground, right? Not completely standing. You're still like on your feet, but you're not like standing straight up and down. But you can crouch down a little bit. Maybe you can touch your toes, but you're not going to touch the ground, and then there's like ground flow. I don't know, maybe like, I need a name for it, but we're basically on the ground, right? That's most likely what's going to be when you're like at home or maybe on the beach or in a park or something, where like being attached to the earth or the ground is going to feel, good for you. So those are the different levels as far as environments that I'm thinking of. So I think the best one to start with would be a low flow, which is going to be standing but still touching our hands to the ground, because I feel like that's like meeting in the middle, and I can kind of explain some of the basics, and then go from there. And then hopefully, I thought maybe I brought my surface down. If not, I might have to grab it, because I'm going to do this for real with you. And basically the way I build anything, hopefully this doesn't come as a surprise and y'all do this too, or you don't shame me for doing it. I hope you wouldn't. But I kind of look and see what other people are doing for ideas for mine, right? Like, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. You don't want to close your eyes, put yourself in a dark corner until you think of like a certain movement or a certain stretch, right? Like, that's not necessary. You can look at things that other people are doing, and if it's something you've never seen before, ask yourself what's new about it, right? Maybe they're hitting a certain angle or like adding a certain twist that you hadn't thought of. And then if you are interested in it, like what it is that you like about it, maybe it's like, targeting an area that you never thought of or that you couldn't find something for, anything like that. And then of course if you're doing routines, which is what I'm trying to build out today and forever now, you kind of see like, okay, this is something I could do on the ground. This is a nice transition into something else. And once you have those exercises figured out, right, then the routine isn't just doing one after the other. The routine is finding a way to blend them all together so your body feels like it's kind of going through the routine, and it's not like a robotic, like, okay, 1, 2, 3, but it's like you're like this, and maybe like, it's a flow. So it feels natural. You don't feel like you're kind of tossing and turning your body, but you're kind of weaving in and out of yourself, not in like a floppy noodly way either, but yeah, that's what I'm going for. That's the vibe. I like to think of water when I think of it. It's just kind of like literally a flow, or you kind of are coming out of it feeling like you had a little meditative state, like you just got a little bit of a body break, a little bit of a mind break. And again, once this is like autopilot, once it's so much of a habit that you don't have to think about like what's next, that I think is when the flow really starts to kick in, because it's like you start to like really go into it. So if you've never done that before, I hope you get to experience that with me, with these exercises. It's not gonna happen today. It's not gonna happen. I mean, I'm not gonna, it might happen, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen today. I highly doubt it'll happen today. Not because it's not possible, just because today's gonna be like more formatting, you know, figuring out what and where. And then I think next week I will perfect it and like kind of carve it out more. And then the week after that I'll probably post a video on my YouTube of it. So yeah, today's probably just going to be about figuring out what specific positions and exercises I want to put in it, and then I'll probably post out from there. Yeah, I know I was talking a lot. I'm sorry. Okay, I did bring my Surface Good. I should have been stretching that whole time. I wasn't. Oh my goodness. Let me go grab this Surface real quick. Okay. Alright, ready. I'm like, trying not to eat this whole bag of grapes. You know, like, I don't know if this happens to you, but I get fruit, and like, fruit is always the first thing to rot, right? Like, produce is always the first thing to rot. So, for me, I'm like, oh, I want to make sure I give that the most attention. Or I won't buy a lot of it because I'm like, I don't want it to rot. I don't want it to go bad. But I feel like every time I don't buy a lot is when I want to eat all of it, right? And then when I don't buy a lot, or when I do buy a lot, then I don't really want it as much. And so today, or last week, I went grocery shopping. I bought 2 bags of grapes. I already knew I was gonna like them. And sometimes you can just kind of tell by the way the bag looks. I was like, oh yeah, these are gonna be good. So I ate 1 bag immediately, like the first day. And the other bag I literally hid from myself, because I was like, if I know it's there, I won't leave them alone. And sure enough, I forgot they were there until this morning. I found them, and now like half the bag's already gone, and they're really, really good. And yeah. Okay, I was looking for my Insta. So basically what I do, and I will talk more about this if I ever get really, really good at making YouTube videos. Come on. This is not the one I wanted. I have more than one account, and it's trying to log me into the one I never want to log into. Oh my gosh. Fuck. No, this isn't right. This is isn't right. I don't think it's gonna work. That's gonna be so sad for me. I knew it was gonna be something. Like I was like, you know what? I'm getting so good about having things ready, and I started thinking about like all the things I would need. I even thought about bringing paper and a pencil and paper, but I was like, no, that's too much. My plan, I'm still gonna do it, but I can't. I don't have access to everything. My plan has always been to make a collection of poses and activities and routines, exercises, everything, based off of a certain category. So, since this is stretching, I'm gonna go to my stretching category. But since my brand, my Pretty Radical Instagram, it's hashtag or at Pretty Radical. Since it is not letting me log into that account, and it's only letting me use my main account, I'm going to go into messages I've sent to my secondary account, and yeah, we'll just kind of see what's in there. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe there's going to be some reason why. I have to look at these ones instead of the others. So far, all these people are on the ground, so that's good, honestly, because that shows me that that is lacking. It's an area that does not already exist. If I have to get on the ground, and if I wouldn't be able to just like bust a move, right? Like, oh, I got 5 minutes to stretch. What is something I can do? And then I look on my phone, and everything is someone sitting on the ground or like using equipment. It's gonna be pretty discouraging because it's like, okay, cool, but I can't do that, right? Cool, but I can't do that. So I'm actually still scrolling. So far, everyone's still doing something on the ground. Hands are on the ground, laying on the ground. This one requires equipment. This one says it's mobility. Let's see what's here. Nope. It was a very dramatic play into immediately going into child's pose. Let's see. This one might require props, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna give it a chance. Maybe it's gonna surprise me and be more accessible. I should say accessibility is the key with these like foundational flows. Ooh, I like that. Foundational flows, man. That's gonna be a whole category. I fucking love that. Oh my gosh, foundational flow, right? Is the foundations of a flow, following the safety rules, make sure your alignment is good, you're stacking, right? You're nice and stretched, flexible enough in those areas so that you can do the flows, right? Just the very beginning. I fucking love that. So we have a flow for standing, for low, and for ground. I'm still looking for one that doesn't involve laying on the ground. And man, oh man. This is ridiculous. I honestly was not expecting. Okay, here, let's see. No. I was gonna give this one the benefit of a doubt, but let's see pretty much on the ground. Okay. What a disappointing find. I'm really not trying to be pessimistic here. I don't know why this exists. Let's see see, what is this one? Okay, these are good. Okay, girl. Found one. So her Instagram handle is vanja.moves. Vanja.moves. And I like this. I like these ones because it's I feel like it's, I need to figure out how to open this in another thing so I can have it open. I use a Mac for work stuff, for like posting, and I use my Surface when I'm like just watching stuff in my room. So that's what I'm using right now. No, I lost my spot, but it was good. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna go back to it and shut my mouth. That's what I need to do. Stop complaining, because this is the first one I've seen that was even remotely close. So yeah, I'm looking at Vanja Moves on Insta, and I've been sitting on my ankles for so long. I need to shake them out. Oh my gosh. Okay. So she's really using the sumo squat a lot for this one, and then kind of adding in the option to do mobility if you want to, like a mobility push through, which is, you know, ultimately what a full routine is moving around in it. A couple of hers are not standing, but the overall concept of some of these is like perfect. So I am I'm going to do a lot of them. I'm going to use my noodle for a couple of them, and then I'm going to do all of them. Oh my gosh, you know what I just thought of? I'm sitting down right now. It's the opposite of what these stretches are supposed to be. No sitting. Okay, so if you're just getting here, or if you need a reminder like I do, basically, I am making a standing flow routine, and it's standing, it's a low flow. So standing flow is basically hanging all the way up like this, and you maybe have the ability to like lift your legs, right? Like you have a chair or a wall or something like that. A low flow is about mid-level. You may touch the ground with your hand or do some sort of activity that requires you to put your hand on the ground, but you never have to put like weight on the ground, right? You're never going to be resting all of your body on the ground. It'll just be there for support. And then low flow, the ground flow, that's of course when you're like laying completely on the ground, your back's on the ground, you're putting your weight on your hands and knees and things like that. So when you would want to have like a clean area you feel comfortable being on the ground in. Those are the three. So since I am doing a low flow, I'm going to be in this sort of range. And the reason why you might want to do one of these flows, I think ideally is, you know, maybe you are just about to get on an airplane and you want to stretch. You don't want to be, you know, sitting on the plane with like a leg cramp, or like you want to be able to like move comfortably in your seat without like thinking, oh man, I should have stretched earlier, right? And if you're like me, you see somebody at the airport at the gate, and they're stretching, and you automatically think like, oh man, I should stretch too, right? And if you don't see that, then it's me. I'm that person. I will go to the airport and I will be dressed. I try to dress in something like stretchy. Like I try not to wear sweatpants because I feel like that looks a little too much. But like I will wear like a flare yoga pants, for example, or like I have this velour jumpsuit on. That way, when I do have the ability to stretch, I don't have to worry about like taking off my clothes or like loosening anything or like something ripping. But immediately when I get the chance, I just start stretching. And even for me, a lot of times I'm thinking, okay, I know I need to stretch, and in my mind, I kind of know a couple of stretches that I'm used to doing, but I'm like ill prepared for it. So I end up doing like a half-assed job of like a couple of stretches because I think, I don't know, I know that nobody's really paying attention to me. I know that there are a couple of people, right? Because other people, it's like a chain reaction. Other people start like stretching too. So they're like, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Which is cool. Like, I feel like if this is a butterfly effect in the future, it would be so cool. But yeah, speak that into existence maybe. I just feel like having a better understanding of like, you know, what's a really good routine and not having to think about it, right? Like the hard part is not, hey, I want to do an exercise and I have 5 minutes to do it. Like even if you have all the equipment in the world to do the thing, there's like something biting my ankle, I don't know, or like I was pressing on it too much. Anyways, I'm gonna start stitching like this. Okay. So just 1 foot forward. I'm gonna kind of, this is what it looks like from the side. I don't know if you can see this. Okay. Kind of like a side lunge, deep side lunge. What the fuck was I saying? Oh my gosh, does that mean it wasn't important? I guess so. Oh yes, airport. Basically, even I will go to the airport and want to do stretching before I get on the plane. And yet, when I have time to do it and I begin to stretch, my mind suddenly blanks and I forget what to do. I can't think of any stretches, and I end up doing like 4, feeling like everybody can tell I don't know what I'm doing, and then I ultimately give up. Right? That's what happens to me. So I don't know if that happens to you. I don't want that to happen to me, so that's why I'm doing this stream. I'm building out some sort of low flow, airport flow, you know, standing flow because you have nowhere to go flow. Yeah, I don't know what to call it, but you know, perhaps there'll be more than one name for the low flows. I mean, of course there'll be. And this one is not necessarily dedicated to an airplane or going through the airport. If anything, I think this one would probably be good for like a lunch break, because I feel like you would still want to have like a somewhat decent place to put your hand down on the ground. Like if you don't have if you don't feel comfortable putting your hand on the ground, at least where you are, you're probably at like a bus stop, you know, like a dog park maybe, because you're really not putting down like your hands, and even still, like where are you where your hand on the ground, like yeah, again, you have to be like out in like a public area where like strangers walk with like their dirty shoes all the time. But if you're like in an office and you know everybody wears like decent shoes, they're not walking around in like their hiking boots, I'm sure you can do this like in a hallway. Don't do this in a bathroom. That's nasty. But yeah, again, I'm not putting weight on my hands like that. Like I can literally lift my hands off the ground if I need to. They're just there for stability, so I can really lean into the stretch without feeling like I have to hold myself up too. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of explain what I did just now, because I didn't really explain it because I didn't really know what I was doing. I just went with it. I still haven't added in her stuff yet, so that's cool, because I think those things combined with what I just did and a little bit of arms is gonna be perfect. It's gonna be perfect. Okay, so So basically, I like to have, I think it's, I don't know, I don't like to say I like to have, I think it's just common knowledge perhaps when it comes to building routines. In general, physical routines is whatever you do on one side, you want to do on the other, because you don't want your progress to only be made on one side. That can make future movements and exercises unsafe because one side will be stronger or weaker than the other. And also, of course, it could offset your balance and things like that too. So yeah, you just make sure you do everything on both sides. So if you see me do something on one side, assume it's going to happen on the other, and that's one of the ways you can build a routine for yourself. If you're realizing, this is going to be done on both sides, what is something that's going to be able to flow to the next side, when is a good idea to transition to the next side, things like that. So what I just did is I recognized that if I'm starting from a stretch, usually I'm going to be in like a smaller area, or I'm going to have a wall or something that I want to face. And so, I'm not going to be like out in a park, right? If I was out in a park, I'd have free reign to do all the things. But yeah, let's say I'm just taking a break in my school or my work, somewhere in a public setting where I can find a hallway. Let's say I'm in a hallway, nobody's really walking in the hallway, the ground is clean enough, maybe it's like a quiet hospital ring or like wing or like a school library or something, like a work office hallway if that's you, like you know what I mean. There's somewhere small for you to do this, right? So imagine that. That's what I'm imagining. You can also do this at home, but again, just depends on what your goal is and what your needs are. So I'm going to be the person in the office on their lunch break. I have about 10 minutes and I want to just stretch my body because I've been sitting in my fucking chair, right, mate? I've been sitting in my chair and I know I need to move my body. I'm ready to go, and I feel like if I don't move my body right now, I'm going to turn into a freaking popcorn. I'm going to pop inside of my little shell, and it's not going to be a good thing, right? So that's you. I want to stretch my arms out all the way, right? Like as soon as you get out of the chair, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to expand. And then I just bring my hands all the way up, lace my fingers so I can pull my shoulders through, my arms up, and then I always try to like bring my neck back and forward. So you're doing the opposite of what you would be doing if you were sitting in your chair. Just like really waking up your spine in general. And do that as many times as you want, but obviously if you have like a time constraint, you have a time constraint. So that. And then I just kind of stepped over. I think I actually like split them at the same time. So this is not yoga, right? Some of them might feel like yoga. The concept might be the same, but this is not, right? This is not, make sure you do it this way. This is literally thinking about alignment, going with the flow of your body, and then paying attention to what it's saying so you can either stay there, move there, and focus on those areas, right? Targeting exercises. So yeah, legs are spread, both of my feet are facing forward, but really my goal is to be able to turn my foot out. So first one, they're both facing forward and I'm leaning in, my butt's coming back. So it's kind of like I'm sitting down, right? So I just kind of lean back like this. And then I'm going to turn and kind of pivot on my heel. Now my front foot is facing forward. And I'm just facing forward like this. Then I'm going to come all the way down. Now both my feet are facing forward. I'm going to come down on my chest. And then I'm going to bring this arm up. So again, this is just stretching. You're not trying to really move or bounce in these too much. That would be mobility. So I came up like this. And now I'm coming up like this. And as I'm coming up, instead of just like turning and standing up, I'm going to straighten my leg out. And then I'm going to do the opposite thing on this side, right? And I came out like this. And then I went like this. So here it's bringing it back. And we're bringing it to the side. And then we're going down, twist, and then another twist, and then we're gonna come up. Woo! My mat is literally stretching underneath my feet. Okay, that was pretty good. So now the next thing she's doing, she's moving into sumo squats. And these are the things that are really gonna open up your hips. So if you are sitting down a lot, they're gonna be really helpful. So first thing, we talked about this a lot in the beginning, but just making sure that you can sit in a sumo squat comfortably without holding on to anything. I know that sounds like a hard task. If you can't do it yet, I couldn't do this a couple months ago, and then when I could, it hurt a lot. Now that I can do it, it's okay, but I still can't do it forever. So I'm watching this chick real quick because she's got a couple of little things she's gonna do. We're gonna do a couple of them. We're not gonna do all of them because she's wow. All right, so here, sitting in this, once it's like, you know, comfortable enough, you're ready to move into more of the stretching. And this is just opening up the hips, so I use my elbows. I push them into my knees and kind of like help stretch that way. So I'm gonna put my hands out in front of me so I can plant my palms. And then I'm just gonna pull my legs up. So that's a stretch right there. So you just kind of let your body hang. And this stretch should be coming from your legs. You should feel this one more in your legs than in your back. So your legs should be locked out for this one. You can pull your body back like this if that helps straighten out the back. But what I don't want you to do is this. This is good if you want to release your back, but for this stretch we want to release the legs. So bending like this is better than bending like this. So just keep these as straight as possible. Yeah, so we're here, right? And then it's to come back down. Again, if you want to hold this for a little bit, feel a little bit more comfortable, you can. And then now you're gonna come up, but instead of both the arms staying down, you're gonna bring one up like this. And then you're gonna switch. So you're gonna come down from this side and then push up over here. Alright, that one feels pretty good on my butt. I don't know how it feels to you, but again, the flow is custom to what you want and need. So if you want to hold a stretch for a little bit longer, do that. It's not supposed to be a mobility thing. It's supposed to feel like a flow, like you can flow through all of them naturally so that you don't have to think about it later. You just know what to do, your body knows where to go, and it feels like second nature till you give your body something it needs regularly. So again, we came down here, we came all the way up like this, and then we came down, and then we came up with one arm up, and then we came down, and then we came up with the other arm up, and then we came down. And then we're gonna do an inside knee tap, and then we'll come out, and then we'll do an inside knee tap, and then we'll go out. So again, depending on how your flexibility goes, my hips are pretty tight, so I could honestly, like doing this, I'm not even like fully in the position I should be. Like you're supposed to be able to like tap. I can't even fully do it, right? Maybe you can't even tell what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, so tapping in is the stretch, right? It's not the fact that you can go from one to the other. I don't want you to be like, I did it. It's being able to feel the stretch in there, so that when you are ready to do a mobility thing, it's comfortable for you to sit in it. So yeah, it's like a tap. I could just sit like this for a minute. Oh, it's like butter. Okay. Also, if you noticed, I was pretty much all the way down on the ground. That's the opposite of what this is about. So when you are doing this, it's about control as well. You're not just falling into it, which is what usually happens when you're doing a ground or floor routine. So I'm down here, I'm tapping like this. And I don't even technically have to touch the ground. Like if the ground's like dirty, which again, you shouldn't be doing these if the ground's that gross. But yeah, it's just really like a quick tap. And then hold it if you need to. Okay, so once those are done, I think we just did a quick tap. We did a quick tap. I think we need to switch here. No, wait. No, because I don't want to put my leg on the ground. Man, it smells like somebody's making food in a toaster oven instead of the oven. I don't know if that makes sense. Man, what's gonna come after this? Okay, so I went from here, stretched, came down here, stretch this way, came down here, stretch this way, tap my knee in, I'm still like this. Okay, so I'm coming from here. I just did a knee tap. I'm gonna come up like this again. I'm gonna lace my hands behind me like this. And then I wanna pull myself up like that. I'll let my chest pop again. Again, this might be something you do like after you've been sitting or if you think you're about to sit for a long time. Okay, now my arms are out. I'm gonna fold my elbows in for this one, because again, you might not have a lot of space. Hopefully you do have a lot of space. If you have full ring, you can definitely open your arms up, or I like to actually do like an in-between, so I feel like I still get that like resistance when my arms are out a little bit, but it's also not like so wacky, if that makes sense. I'm not gonna whack something, but it's really just putting your arms and your shoulders in a position to twist, and only you know what that feels like for you. So if you're not like, this feels good, or you're like, this might hurt, like don't do it, go to a chiropractor. But for me and for a lot of other people, you can kind of just feel like this is gonna be good, like when you have to sneeze, right? Like there's gonna be a good pop in there, and then usually something pops and you're like, yeah. So I'm not a chiropractor, don't listen to me on otherwise. Okay, so we are down here, folded up, arms are back, twisted it out, and then I think we need to do just a once on this side. Pretty easy stuff, but make sure that you're not like folding over like this, but you're like standing up straight and then tilting to the back. And then switch sides. So both arms got stretched. If you feel comfortable doing this one, I like to make sure that my shoulders get stretched out a little bit more. This is just a standing one. Again, these are good for pretty much anywhere you go. My shoulders are so tight I can't really reach them right now, and I normally can. There's evidence. It's interesting how much your body can change in just a few days. Like literally, look at me. Last week, I was literally cheering. I was cheering about how my flexibility was getting so much better. And I could touch my hands more. And now I've digressed. It's okay though. It's my own fault. I won't say I've been off routine because I've definitely been doing my routine. I'm super proud of myself. But I have been not taking care of my body in the best ways. Besides that, my sleep schedule's been kind of messed up. And yeah, I need to get better at that. Maybe talk about that for a second actually. Got a few minutes. And then I will do a quick recap of what I just did. Because I think honestly, that was probably plenty. Like if you're just doing a quick low floor flow. I don't know what I called it, whatever it's called in there. If I'm gonna do one of these flows, I think it's important to make sure it's not like 15 minutes long. I want people really to like in and out and not have to like do and remember all of these things. Especially if they are holding the poses for a really long time and they're not just quickly moving through them like they would if it was like a full-on like yoga thing. Right? These are not just poses that you would see in yoga. They might look like they are, or it might be some that are the same, but the idea is different as far as what your body's retaining from it and the logic behind it all. So they flow together. I don't want to make it sound like I'm making something up. It's just a lot of people relate yoga to religion, and I don't want that to be misconstrued with what's happening here. It's really just about listening to what's going on in your body because nobody else knows what it's saying, man. Yeah. I said I was going to come down here and talk to you about something, and then I forgot what I was going to talk to you about. So, yeah. There's that. I guess I'll just do the flow again, and then if I can remember what it was that I was going to share or pause and talk to you about, then I will. If not, then I'll be done. Oh yeah, it was going to be about my habits. I will share that now because I don't want to forget, and then I'll do the flow. So what's been going on with me and my habits? Well. I think I told you last week I started a wellness shot, and basically it's like like if you were to take a shot like a drink, maybe a shot of vodka, it's like that, except for instead of alcohol, it's like a tincture of like all the things that you should have in a vitamin and magic smoothie, milkshake, whatever it is people drink in the morning, right? Everybody has their thing. Like, I take my vitamin, I drink my matcha, like I drink, whatever. Everybody has their own thing, right? So my thing has always been orange juice. It's not for nutrients in any way, although obviously there are a bunch of nutrients you can get from orange juice. Mine have just been, I really like the taste of orange juice, and I associate the taste of orange juice with like waking up in the morning, and yeah, it just makes me feel like okay, I'm starting my day now. And so I imagine with like people with coffee, right? Like I have my coffee. Like for me, it's like I have my orange juice. So for me, it's always been my orange juice, but now I'm trying to do like apple cider vinegar and I have these vitamins, but they're fucking massive. They're honestly like longer than half an inch. Literally, they're longer than half an inch. So it's like, I can't swallow that. I honestly don't know if they recommend you swallow it. It doesn't say like take out of the capsule, but I don't know how anybody could be swallowing these. So I just take them out of the capsules and I like sprinkle them in my cups, in my little cup that I have, and I like mix it all together, and then I just like throw it back, right? Literally just throw it back. So I've been doing that, and I've been able to do that pretty much every single day, and it's actually kind of nice because it really does feel like I'm taking a shot, like with the apple cider vinegar, right? Like it's like oh, get it down, and like kind of like clears your throat a little bit, but it's not like alcohol. So yeah, that's been good, but I haven't been eating, and I don't know why. Normally, I wake up, do my stuff in the bathroom, right? Walk my dog, come back inside, make something to eat, like make a coffee, and then like work in my planner or work on something before the rest of my day goes on. But in this case, I've been waking up, and I think maybe because the weather was bad for a little while, like I didn't walk my dog, and so then that had like a trickle down effect where I was just kind of like staying inside, and like then like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, I'll make dinner, or I'll make, you know, breakfast later, but then I didn't have a reason to go downstairs. So like all of the things, and once those things got like messed up, it was like a domino effect. So I feel like I can do maybe like one or two things on my schedule that change before my entire routine and habits get disoriented. And I'm not happy about that. I'm glad that I know that now, and you know, it's something obviously like I can pay attention to, where there's, you know, other days I might not have even noticed those things. But yeah, just something to think about. I feel like my habits could have been better last week. I'm gonna try again this week. I got a couple of big projects I'm trying to get done at home. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do that flow routine one more time. I'm gonna have it up hopefully later on in a perfected way, unless it's really horrible. Then I'll just make something that says it was bad. Maybe. Okay. So this was the low flow routine. And I get started like this. Come back. Can come back this way. I might just do them on a rotation. So this one here. And then up. And then this one here. And then up. And then I was turned like this, hand down, turn up, hand down, turn up, and then it was up, rotated all the way down, like this, and then here, go up, go up, and then back up. And then what was next? I think it was, oh yes, it was down. Somehow I got down here. I don't remember how I got down here, but we were down here. Here. Oh, I think I just bent down. But then I come up here, I bend down, and then I come up one more time, and I twist again. And then I twist again. And then I bring my arms up behind me. And I pull up like so. And then I bring them up like this. And then I go to one side. And then I go to the other side. Might do that again. Not again. Twist, 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 twist. Alright. It's not perfect, but it does exist now. Can't say I never did nothing. And yeah, this was an interesting stream. I feel like I'm finding a balance, but yeah, I hope that wasn't awful. That was my first building a routine flow, unless I did that already and I just forgot, which is likely. But yeah, see you tomorrow.